When the world's most powerful military suffers a highly destructive blow to its infrastructure, it usually follows a specific protocol. It buries the evidence. This specific cover-up involves the U.S. Naval Support Activity Base in Bahrain. It is the only American naval facility in the Persian Gulf, making it the most critical piece of infrastructure for regional sea power. A recent investigation by the Wall Street Journal reveals that the Pentagon suppressed the details of a major attack on this base, intentionally downplaying the scale of the impact. The estimated cost of damage is roughly $400 million. For a single facility, this is a massive structural loss the military hasn't publicly acknowledged. The administration kept this quiet to maintain control, avoiding admitting their primary regional hub is vulnerable. To put this in context, most people under 35 have never seen this happen. In decades of Middle Eastern conflict, no adversary has successfully landed a direct, multi-million-dollar hit on U.S. soil or its primary bases without an immediate, neutralizing response. That changed when Iran launched this specific strike. When a regional power can inflict $400 million in damage on a primary naval hub, the regional power balance shifts. The assumption that these facilities are untouchable is no longer the baseline for diplomacy in the Gulf. This wasn't a random event. It was the result of a rapidly climbing escalation ladder that started when the U.S. launched bombing runs against 10 specific Iranian targets. Those U.S. strikes were aimed at coastal radar sites and mountain facilities used to store Iran's long-range missiles and drone fleets. In response to those bombings, Iran utilized its own missile and drone stockpile to launch a direct counterattack. This map shows the breadth of that retaliation. The Revolutionary Guards targeted 8 U.S. military sites across Kuwait and Bahrain. This coordinated barrage hit multiple states simultaneously, impacting oil production and tourism, proving Iran can reach past the conflict zone. This move signaled a shift in the conflict. The period of warnings and proxy skirmishes transitioned into an active, direct, and unpredictable kinetic war. The initial U.S. strike was based on a specific intelligence assumption that a hard blow would force the Iranian supreme leader to back down or cause the public to turn against the government. President Donald Trump moved forward with the attack based on that calculation. However, the opposite happened. The strikes solidified public support for Ali Khamenei and the Islamic regime, creating a unified front against the U.S. intervention. This has left Iran operating with a new level of confidence. They've realized that while the U.S. can strike individual targets, it currently lacks a comprehensive plan to manage the aftermath. Tactical strikes often fail to account for a nation's internal survival instinct. Instead of dismantling the adversary, these attacks have provided the regime with a reason to expand the conflict. This isn't just a Middle Eastern crisis. Adversaries across the globe are monitoring how the U.S. handles this $400 million blow. In Moscow, the Kremlin is watching for signs of American war fatigue or a lack of political will to retaliate. There are already indications that Russia is accelerating plans to test NATO's resolve, potentially eyeing the Baltic states or the Polish border. The logic is simple. If the U.S. allows a massive hit on its own naval base to go unavenged, Moscow may gamble that Washington won't risk a larger war to defend its European allies. This is how localized failures impact global leverage. When deterrence fails in one region, it invites challenges in every other theater of operation. Back in Washington, the political pressure is mounting. As the details of the Bahrain base damage become public, the demand for a major response is becoming a domestic necessity. President Trump has already shifted his tone, moving from talk of proportional strikes to the potential for the total removal of the Iranian regime. This escalation path leads to a single difficult outcome: a full-scale land invasion, requiring significant boots on the ground to achieve what airstrikes could not. Global markets are already reacting to this possibility. Investors see a cycle of retaliation with no clear exit strategy, leading to massive financial instability. The United States now faces a choice between two high-stakes paths: withdrawing and accepting a loss of regional influence, or moving forward into a massive ground war with no clear end in sight.